7:35 a.m. this Sunday morning. Um, this is a this is gonna be a fun video here. I just have a feeling. Anyways, this is actually more or less a video response to Tamarack, Michigan. um, and in response to a comment that was posted that I replied to earlier. Um, Actually, I'm going to cover a couple of things here, and I'm going to include a very interesting link. Uh, yeah, just play along with me, if you will. Okay, as I have stated multiple times on my channel and through my content, throughout my life, I have been an avid TV junkie and a fan of the big screen, aka movies. I have a wide variety in my collections of movies. A good majority of them, of course, is among the horror genre, the macabre, um, science fiction, scary stuff. I like scary stuff. Always have. Something that I've observed does not matter what kind of movie it is, whether it is horror, drama, romance, or westerns, or what have you. Something that is kind of like a epiphany thought or a revelation of sort is the factor that in all of the movies and TV shows that I've watched, and even commercials or commercialized advertisements on the Idiot Box, we see chemtrails in the skies, TV shows and movies. But has there ever been an actual movie to where somewhere in the storyline or plot it involves chemtrails? But of course, you can always see the chemtrails in the backdrop or the back scenes of movies and TV shows, or even commercials nowadays. I mean, such as like Skyrizi. And there's been other medical advertisements, commercialized advertisements on television, such as like Skyrizi, to where they show chemtrails. But yet, chemtrails has never really been part of a storyline or plot to any movie that I am aware of. Isn't that interesting? Now let's go just a little bit further. So this could be once again another day of multiple recordings. I'm gonna step out even though my hair is like I mean, I'm looking like Krusty the Clown's sidekick, old Bob. Or maybe Krusty himself with his hair. So, and I'm still in my bathrobe. But anyways, let's go ahead and step out here. Why not? What the heck? I'm not embarrassed of who or what I am anymore, so. Okay, so this is what we've got off into the west. Okay, and yes, we are quite overcast. Still waiting for the emergence of that greater light. But anyways, so as you know, I have gone into the realm of spirituality, if you will. I may go ahead and backtrack my way into my apartment here. And I like to share links towards Gemini tarot card readings, especially those that resonate with me, that feels right, that clicks, and actually goes along with my so-called life's story. Well, as I was replying to Tamarack, Michigan's comments this morning, thank you for all those comments, I came across a recommended watch tarot card reading video, and at first it's like, oh, this is a reader that I've never seen before. Well, until she ended up pulling out a couple of things during her reading, then it's like, oh, okay, now I know because of the props used. All right, but here's the kicker: the thumbnail that was used for this specific reading not only has a flying saucer with Gemini inscribed on it, but there's a light bulb that ironically looks like a bee. Right away, yeah, you think that I was not going to click on that? Oh, heaven forbid, right? Oh no, not with signs like that for me was meant to catch my eye as far as I am concerned. Well then we get into the meat and potatoes of the reading, and once again, it is that typical storyline that I have been hearing right along I for the longest of times now. But it has been evolving slowly, ever so slowly. But everything is matching up and going according to plans, I guess. I've already stated that through these readings there was to be a new partnership coming in for me. That's still, you know, to be determined and down the road yet. But together we are to be quite the powerful force. But there's other things that has to come to the table first. And Tamarack, within one of my comments, I bring up a certain person to where we might end up in communication with one another because of a certain issue in my life. At least one issue, okay? Because this could open up into other avenues of interest. But you will also notice that within this reading it brings up judges, lawyers. Same thing that's been being said right along on other Gemini readings through other channels. There's still legal battles, apparently, that I have to deal with and overcome in my future. But this, quite shocking and surprising to me, because I'm at the point in my life to where Spirit keeps telling me, hey, just go with the flow. It is what it is. We'll get there. So I thought most of my legal issues were done. Apparently not. Because with all these changes in the structuring of different levels of economics in this country and the structurings, apparently is going to affect my future greatly. I thought I was done with the rope figures. Apparently I am not. This is being mentioned in that video, and Tamarack, I also made mention of this in a comment before I even watched the video It's going to get interesting whether I will post content pertaining to this when these matters should evolve and come to being. I'm not sure. And if I do it at all, it might not even be on this platform. I'm not sure, going with the flow once again. But, this is just my attempts of a little bit more validations into everything that I brought to the table and through others to where I can back up virtually anything anymore that I bring once again to the table through my content with the help or backing of others, whether it's of their knowledge or not. And it's very surprising how things are being brought up on other channels that I don't comment on. I watch their content once in a blue moon. I don't watch a lot of content anymore. But yet, like this time loop and how channels that I tune into once in a while have been bringing this up. Almost like they have been tuning into my content, which is highly doubtful. So there's all these little signs that have to be taken into consideration. And I keep trying to put out as much as possible in relation to those so-called signs. So, if you're interested, and this is not just to Tamarack, Michigan, this is to anybody out there that, wants a little bit more info, yeah. Birds are telling me that they're ready for me to feed the cats. they're starting to crowd around the feeding grounds, the birds. So anyways, yeah, this is just once again my attempts to kind of clarify that much more as far as me, my content, and how other content basically backs up my own. Kind of strange. I live a very strange life, and I record a lot of strange stuff. And, I've lost a lot of people in my life because of my content. Because, once again, if you have no appreciation for my content, then you have no appreciation for my life. And therefore, if you have no appreciation for my life, you have no appreciation for me as a person. And, I viewed this through so-called friends, family, neighbors, acquaintances. I am damn near completely alone, yet never lonely. Big difference. Since I've become alone, most issues have ceased in my life. Because I don't go for the he said, she said drama that most people focus in on anymore. No, I go for the bigger pictures in so-called life, such as UFOs, which are directly connected to the chemtrailing. And of course, we have Gemini, an artificial intelligence system. I am a Gemini. We have other things labeled as Gemini. Remember, even in the space exploration industry, the Gemini capsule. Yeah. And of course, this should be realized how Gemini, especially this Generation Xer that I am being a Gemini, and X being connected. X. Are we starting to see the picture yet? Yeah, I hope so, because I'm done talking. Have a great one. 8:15 a.m. And I had not yet finished watching that tarot card reading that I have provided the link in the description box below. And yeah, but this is very important because she brings up the factor and the symbolism of the owl. And within my content and through my research, the owl is the symbol of, let's say, a secret society that operates through the darkness. And they use the owl as their symbol. Okay? This is where and the owl. Did I screw that up? I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. Well, I might have to re-record this. But anyways, very, very important. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to review this and find out if I screwed up or not. But whether I will go into this any further, I don't know, because well, I've been exposing a lot within this realm and within this struggle over power and control among secret societies, and which once again the owl is a symbol to steer clear of, in my opinion. Okay, now I think I will leave it at that. Yeah, we're back. 8:25. Yeah, I did. I screwed up. Um, yeah, I did not click on the pause properly and so on and so forth. But anyways, what you missed out on was the fact that I tuned in or focused in on Skywise here. And that was to pertain to the battle being taking place between the dragon and the owl. Okay? Um, and I know, yeah, once again, I'm asking people to read between the lines. Boy, you see that nice orb that just cut through? Ooh, one of my spirits. Or maybe it's just a dust particle. So, anyways, I told you I'm in a quirky mood today. So, and I'm going to also kind of throw in that thumbnail screen, or yeah, the thumbnail image from that tarot card reading channel. I'm going to throw that in the mix, which you might have already seen. But anyways, yeah, take this video as you will, one and all. It is what it is, and well, we will end it right here officially. And any further content today will more than likely be of just sky observations only. So On that note, take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. And we'll see you once again back here on this flip side.